If my budget was $200, these are the gaming monitors I'd go for. MSI Mac 275QF. The MSI Mac 275QF is one of those monitors that really punches above its weight for the price, making 1440p gaming more accessible without feeling like a major compromise. When I got it set up, the first thing I noticed was the 180Hz refresh rate, which felt incredibly smooth in fast-paced games. The response time is advertised as 0.5 ms, but in my testing, it felt closer to the 5 ms range, which is still very respectable for an IPS panel and more than enough for most gamers. The colors are decent for gaming, but if you're a content creator, you might notice it doesn't quite hit 100% sRGB, so it's not perfect for professional photo or video work. The build is pretty basic, it gets the job done but lacks features like a height-adjustable stand or a USB hub, which I did miss. For a gamer who wants to jump to Quad HD and prioritizes a high refresh rate and responsive feel over professional color accuracy, this is a fantastic starting point. AOC Q27G4XN. This AOC immediately caught my eye with its vibrant and punchy colors, making games just pop off the screen. In my experience, its biggest strength is the incredible low input lag, which is a massive advantage in competitive shooters where every millisecond counts. Running at 180Hz, motion is super smooth, and I found that setting the overdrive to medium gave the best results, cutting down on ghosting without introducing annoying visual artifacts. The brightness is also a step up from many budget monitors, peaking at almost 400 nits, making it comfortable to use even in a bright room. However, don't be fooled by the HDR support. Like most monitors in this price range, it's more of a spec sheet feature than something that provides a true HDR experience. This monitor is perfect for the competitive gamer who values speed and color vibrancy and isn't bothered by the lack of a USB hub or meaningful HDR. If I only had $200, I would buy the AOC Q27G4XN because its superior low input lag and brighter, more vibrant display give it the edge for the competitive gaming I prioritize. Here's what I'd buy if I only had $400 to spend on a gaming monitor. Gigabyte M27 Up. This is one of the most versatile monitors I've tested in this price range. It's like getting two displays in one. In my experience, the 4K 160Hz mode is stunning for story-driven games. The detail is crisp and immersive, especially when I hooked up my PS5 to take advantage of the HDMI 2.1 port. But what really surprised me was the tactical switch. With one press, it drops to 1080p but cranks the refresh rate up to 320Hz, which felt incredibly fluid and responsive in fast-paced shooters. Honestly, the flexibility is its biggest selling point. The downside is that in dark scenes, the blacks look more like a dark gray due to the low contrast, and the HDR is not going to blow you away. It's a perfect fit for the gamer who plays a bit of everything, from cinematic 4K titles to competitive esports, and wants a single monitor that can handle it all without compromise. LG 27GL83A. The LG 27GL83A is an old favorite, and it still completely holds up because it nails the fundamentals better than almost anything else for the price. The moment I started playing on it, the sheer motion clarity stood out. Its 1 ms response time isn't just marketing fluff. It genuinely makes fast-paced action feel incredibly sharp with practically zero ghosting. The colors are another high point, coming out of the box with vibrant and accurate tones that make games look fantastic, without any tweaking. While it's only a 1440p 144Hz panel and lacks features like built-in speakers or impressive HDR, it focuses all its budget on what matters for pure gaming performance. I did notice a slight wobble in the stand, but on a solid desk, it's not a deal breaker. This is the monitor for the focused PC gamer who prioritizes responsive, buttery smooth gameplay and great color over higher resolution or extra features. If I had to spend my own $400, I would buy the Gigabyte M27 UP because its unique dual mode feature offers incredible versatility for both high fidelity 4K gaming and high refresh rate competitive play in a single package. Now, if I only had $600 to spend, these are the gaming monitors I'd buy. Asus ROG Strix XG27AQ DMG. This monitor is all about that glossy screen finish, and honestly it makes the picture pop in a way Mac screens just can't. When I first fired this up, the brightness and vibrancy, even in my fairly well-lit office, were immediately noticeable. In-game, the 240Hz refresh rate and near instantaneous response time deliver that fluid, connected feeling you expect from a top-tier OLED. The blacks are perfect and NK, which makes HDR content look incredible. I also appreciate the stand design. It has great height adjustment and even a little groove to hold your phone, which is a surprisingly useful touch. The biggest drawback for me was the lack of full HDMI 2.1 bandwidth, which is a letdown for console gaming since you might have to choose between a high refresh rate and HDR on an Xbox. For example, it's a fantastic monitor, but that one omission feels strange at this price. This is the perfect monitor for a PC gamer who plays in a room with some ambient light and absolutely loves that vibrant, glossy panel look but doesn't prioritize console gaming. Gigabyte Aorus FO27Q2. This Gigabyte Aorus is the productivity-minded gamer's secret weapon, and its built-in KVM switch is the star of the show. In my testing, being able to swap from my gaming PC to my work laptop while using the same keyboard and mouse all through the monitor was a game changer for keeping my desk clean. It uses a QD OLED panel, and the colors feel a bit more saturated and punchy than the Asus, especially in reds and greens. Performance-wise, it also boasts a 240Hz refresh rate, delivering that same buttery smooth experience in fast-paced titles. It includes full HDMI 2.1 support, making it a better choice if you switch between PC and the latest consoles. The only place it falls a little short for me is the peak brightness. It's not as bright as the Strix, so it feels more at home in a darker, more controlled lighting environment. This is the one to get if you have a multi-device setup and value workflow convenience as much as you do gaming performance and color vibrancy. If I had to spend my own $600, I would buy the Gigabyte Aorus FO27Q2 because its QD OLED panel delivers punchier colors, and the built-in KVM switch is an invaluable feature for anyone juggling a work and gaming setup. If I had $800 to spend, these would be my top choices. Alienware AW2725DF. This one completely redefines what you can get at this price. It feels like Alienware took everything good about OLED and cranked it up for esports and cinematic gaming alike. When I gamed on it for hours, that 360Hz refresh rate and ridiculously sharp motion made everything from shooters to RPGs look more fluid than I expected. Honestly, the OLED clarity here spoils lesser displays for me. Colors are vivid and blacks are true, so every neon lit scene pops and the quantum dot effect keeps everything punchy. What's wild is that the build is premium, yet the monitor still feels practical with a bunch of USB ports that are easy to reach. The only real downsides are its modest brightness, and ironically, it skips built-in speakers and a headphone jack. Alienware expects you'll have better audio anyway. For raw gaming joy and absolute motion smoothness, I'd recommend this to anyone who lives for multiplayer action and cares about every millisecond. Asus ROG Strix XG27AC DNG. This one genuinely surprised me. The XG27AC DNG isn't just a beast for gaming. It might be the most versatile 360Hz monitor I've tested at this price. Right away, its visual punch blows past some of the OLED competition with colors that feel deep and high contrast, especially in darkroom gaming, where blacks stay inky and highlights pop. I noticed it keeps HDR looking dramatic without blowing out details, and even long coding or editing sessions felt comfortable. The build is rugged, and I love the tripod mount for webcams or mics. It's genuinely ready for dual duty as a game hub and studio. Inputs are plentiful, USB and KVM are here, plus there's some clever tech for flicker reduction. While ambient light can mess with black levels, you get a ton of customization and input lag is crazy low for competitive play. If you want a display that truly nails both gaming and creative work, this is the one for you. If I had $800 and had to choose, I'd go with the Asus ROG Strix XG27AC DNG. It nails everything the Alienware does for speed and clarity, but adds more features and versatility without the brightness perks. And now it gets interesting. If I had an unlimited amount of money to spend on a gaming monitor, here's what I would buy. MSI MPG 322URX. This monitor is all about that raw, uncompromised QD OLED experience, and it absolutely delivers. The first time I fired up a game, the sheer vibrancy and perfect blacks, a signature of OLED panels, were just jaw-dropping. In fast-paced shooters like CS2, the 240Hz refresh rate combined with a near-instant 0.03 ms response time meant motion was incredibly crisp and felt instantly responsive. What really surprised me was the inclusion of DisplayPort 2.1, which lets you run at full 4K 240Hz without any compression, a feature that feels genuinely next-gen if you have a GPU to support it. However, it's not perfect. The glossy screen can be a bit of a mirror in a bright room, and like most QD OLEDs, ambient light can make those deep blacks look a little purple. For me, this is the monitor for the purist gamer who has a dedicated dimly lit setup and wants the most future-proof panel on the market today. Asus ROG Swift PG32UCDM. The Asus ROG Swift feels like the slightly more refined all-around champion of the two. While it uses a similar stunning 4K QD OLED panel, I immediately noticed it gets significantly brighter in regular use, which makes a real difference if your gaming space has any ambient light. Asus packed in thoughtful features like a custom heatsink that, in my experience, keeps it cool during long sessions and gives me peace of mind about burn-in. I also appreciated the option of uniform brightness, which prevents distracting shifts in luminance, and the inclusion of Dolby Vision support is a fantastic bonus for watching movies. The main trade-off is that it relies on DisplayPort 1.4, which uses compression to hit that 4K 240Hz peak, but honestly I couldn't spot any visual difference in-game. This is the one for the gamer who wants a top-tier experience but needs a display that's practical enough for a brighter room and versatile enough for both high-end gaming and media consumption. Now, if I have to pick just one, I'd go with the Asus ROG Swift PG32U CDM for its superior brightness in varied lighting and Dolby Vision support, which gives it a slight edge for both gaming and content consumption. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope this video helped you pick the best gaming monitors for you. If you have any questions, drop a comment below. Links to all of these products mentioned in this video will be in the description. Alright, peace out.